And do you think that rambling on the internet will change anything? People seek the truth, no matter where they find it.
Hey, this is Sean Y, and I'm back. Officially. Even got my intro and everything again. But today I want to talk about this image here. This is Jesus. Yeah, you see it, right? You know, looks just like him. Except for more demonic. But yeah, this is actually, sits behind the Pope when he's speaking at Vatican Assembly Hall. That is where this statue is. The statue is supposed to represent, it's called the resurrection. It's supposed to represent, I guess, the world in this time of nuclear possibilities and, fear of nuclear war, I guess, is what they say. I don't see it. To me, looks a little more, I don't know, anti-crisis. But anyway, I'm going to point out a couple images here, and let's just talk about it. Okay, so here's another view. Got the Pope, waving with these jester-looking dudes on the side. Yeah, and you got this structure behind him that looks like skulls and demons, and it looks like this Christ figure almost looks like he has wings with this real demon-like serpent looking head. I mean, if you kind of take a closer look, you'll see what I mean. Alright, so this is a real magnifying look at the side of this Jesus's head. I mean, like I said, it looks sort of, I don't know, serpent-like in a way. You could say, Sean, you're stretching there, man. It's a possibility, but I want you to take a look at something real quick here. If I was asked, what do you see in this picture? What would you say? I'll give you a second to look at it. Okay. Don't see it? Just see a building? Window? Okay, what about now? Like it says, do you notice the similarities? Yeah. I mean, that pretty much looks like a snake head, a serpent head. Now, why am I pointing this out? Because this is the Vatican we're talking about. This is the Pope. This is where he speaks. And this all has to do with what the Catholic Church is about, what the Pope is about, bringing in the one world religion. I really believe that it's going to be the Catholic Church to bring that the Antichrist comes through. But I'm saying this because I really wish some of my Catholic friends and family would wake up and see this. The Bible warns you of all these things and says, do not be deceived. But yet, they close their eyes and put on their blinders to this church for whatever reason. This church has had so much power for so long, and it took it. This was what the whole Dark Ages was about. The movies show all these, the Crusades and all that, and never really tell you what it is, what it's about, who's doing it. This is all about the Catholic Church killing anyone that would not convert to the Catholic way. Even Christians. There's where they do the twist and saying, this is what the Christians did. This is what religion does. No, that is not what the Christians do. The Catholic Church was never Christianity. And that's what the movies and the propaganda and people, these atheists that spew that same lie, will not tell you is or maybe they're just ignorant and don't know, as far as some of these atheists, that church has nothing to do with Christianity. It was all basis out of it's paganism, it's Satanism. I mean, they're taking the old ways of ancient, Babylon, to and all these false god worships and brought them into tricking Christians into following this system. This it really is hard to see how these Catholics don't see this. Everything this Pope does is so evil and antichrist. The comments he makes, the fact that he claims to be God in place of Vicar of Christ. That's what he calls himself. All of which they find excuse after excuse for this person. I'm hoping by showing these images right here that at least opens your mind a little bit to the deception. I really do believe there's a connection between why these people do the things they are, why they're evil, why the serpent. It goes back to Genesis, where it says there will be enmity between thy seed and her seed. I really truly believe that there is a real serpent seed passed down, that was not totally destroyed in the flood. There is an actual seed, a mixture of this DNA from this. I believe what the Antichrist seed is going to come through. So that's why I believe you got this serpent, imagery, and these people may be part of an actual the serpent's bloodline. I don't know. It gets into some deep thought there, but why? Why would they use this imagery? And you say, well, that's pushing it, Sean. That's that could just look like a snake head. Doesn't mean it is. Okay, well, let's move on. All right, this is the inside of this hall. You can see where the Pope's sitting over there. There's the statue. All these people watching, listening to the Pope. And here's what the Pope sees looking out. Kind of, I don't know, resemble a snake, just like the outside, the two eyes, coming down to the mouth. Does it kind of look like the Pope's kind of speaking to the serpent and not the crowd? Man, is that pushing it too? Okay. What about now? This is what it looks like where the Pope is sitting, looking at the Pope. Now, does it look like a snake head, a serpent's head? I mean, you can even see the fangs. It's that evil. I mean, we are dealing with a demonic presence unlike anything. Like I said, I'm just bringing this up because I really want people to see what's going on. This isn't the only thing at the Vatican or Vatican City that is this way. I mean, if you just look at the outside of the Vatican, it's got the sundial with the obelisk. Look at this over here to the right. There's a pentagram, star that makes the pentagram. There's a Masonic compass building. Literally looks like the Masonic compass right next to it. This Masonic, Luciferian, Satanic, old Babylon system is all here at the Vatican, all meshed together. It's the Christians really need to wake up. I'm not bashing on Catholics. If you believe Jesus Christ died, was buried and rose again 3 days later, that makes you a Christian. That's it. That's all it's based off of, and nothing else. Ephesians 2:8-9. It tells you right there. It's not about works. No matter what, no man boast. It's faith and faith alone. Jesus did everything on the cross for you. And you got this system of religion trying to hold power over people. Yes, that is what religion is doing. That's not what God does. That's not what Christ does. That's freedom. Not freedom to do whatever you want. It's you're free from the sins of this world, from this fleshly body, this broken world. He's sealed you in a spot in heaven. You know, this just, I wish people would wake up, and that's why I'm making this video. Just little things like this might just spark somebody to say, oh, something's not right. Let's do a little more research. Let's look into this. There is more videos out there on this subject about the building. Even some videos get a little more into the architect of this building. There's not a lot on it. He does have some other buildings he's done in Rome there and other places. Not as blatant as this. Some of them are real Illuminati pyramid-like buildings. Let you do some research on your own. Found it real interesting. I tried to look up where this guy was buried. Can't find anything on his burial site, where he's buried, what his grave site looks like, because I was interested because some of these higher up people that deal with, what you call them, Illuminati, Masons, the real high up elite that work for the Vatican things, if you notice, a lot of them get these Masonic obelisk memorials, showing that who they were, and who they lived for. Basically, they're saying, yes, they was one of us. They was one of the worshippers of Lucifer, of the Masonic, things. They was it lets you know that yes, they was part of that. There's many people in Hollywood and stuff. You go look in the music industry that pass away, and they got these big memorials that are obelisk. And that's another thing I've made on the Vatican, where they got the big obelisk, and then you look at Washington, they call it a war monument. We have one here in Indianapolis, the same thing, an obelisk out in the middle of a sundial, just like the Vatican. And, it's all sun worship, Horus worship. So, these are things to really look at and question. Why is all this stuff here on this grounds that are supposed to be about Jesus? But yet there's nothing that actually represents Christianity going on here. Alright, this is Sean White. I'm going to cut it short a little bit. If you haven't, like and subscribed. Promise I'm going to get back to making more videos more often like this. Thank you, and God bless.